Am I the a-hole for canceling all of my stepkids' tickets for our family vacation while my husband and I are still going? Buckle in, it's gonna be a long ride. My 48 husband, Randall, 50, have been together for 14 years. Randall has 4 children, 2 sons, Kyle, 26, Alex, 24, and 2 daughters, Savannah, 21, and Cassandra, 20. It's important that y'all know, as we get into this, that the oldest and the youngest are not his, biologically, but he's raised them as if they were. When Randall and I first got together, 3 of his children were in elementary school, and the oldest was in the middle school. They really didn't take to me at first, as they wanted their parents to be together like any child would. I completely understood, and I gave them plenty of time to spend with her father when we were with them. I'd busy myself with shopping or visiting my own family. Eventually, we bonded and began spending time together. I do birthdays and holidays big for them and got to where we go and do things on our own when my husband had to work, and he's always worked a lot. Here's my issue. Over the last several years now, they've adopted this sense of entitlement towards us, but mainly their father. When we go into town to visit, we live 5 hours away. They'll rarely make the effort to spend any time with us. So, we typically end up doing things on our own and then coming back home. Lately, we are of the mindset that we shouldn't have to drop everything and come to them every time anymore. Especially when we know that most times, they're not gonna show up. And they're adults. If they want to see us, they can make a trip to where we live. These days, their phone calls consist of asking for money for gas, groceries, to hang out with friends, or to help fund their trips with their mom. Randall used to send money for everything they would ask for, but has now begun to say no and to really put his foot down. He's told them that they need to work for the things that they want, and that everything is not always going to be handed to them. Anytime he says no or that we can't help right now, it's the silent treatment for weeks, and sometimes months. We're coming to the part where I'm questioning myself and my decision to cancel their vacation. Early fall 2022, Kyle told us that he and his girlfriend were expecting a baby. We didn't even know he had a girlfriend, but that he doesn't think he wants Randall to be part of the baby's life because he isn't Kyle's biological father. This man raised this boy from 8 months old and did everything that a father should do, but he's not good enough to be grandpa? But he said he'd let us know. So we proceeded through birthdays and the holidays, and of course I went all out as per usual. Now, right after the new year, I received a phone call from Kyle asking if Dad and I could help fund their baby shower. It would go towards food, decorations, and the venue. I said yes, and I went ahead and sent him the money, and he told me that in a week or so, he'd give me all the details of the baby shower and to expect the invitation in the mail. About an hour later, Randall calls me and says that Kyle called and asked him if we could help fund their baby shower, and Randall sent him money too. Randall was furious that it took us both for money, but he left it alone and we didn't hear from any of the kids after that. Mid-March comes along and we're visiting with my husband's family when his sister-in-law asked why we didn't go to the baby shower the previous weekend. Because we didn't know about it. We were stunned, to say the least. Then his sister-in-law dropped another bomb on us. The baby was born the day before the shower. Come to find out, all 4 kids and their mother agreed to not invite us to the baby shower or to even let us know that the baby was born. They needed just the money. To say that I was livid would be an understatement. So I sent Kyle a message a couple of days later and told him that it's one thing to not invite us to the shower, but to not let us know about the baby was heartbreaking. I told him that I hoped they'd had a great time and that they were gifted everything that they needed. I congratulated him on the birth of his son and that I hoped he's healthy and adored. My husband sent a similar message. We've yet to hear back from him and we're headed into mid-June. So, after the conversation between myself and my husband, and the fact that I paid for the entire trip on my own, we decided to cancel their tickets for what was supposed to be our family vacation. I got a partial refund for some of the reservations that I had made, but that's okay. I'll take the loss. Last week, we got a call from the other 3 asking what dates they needed to plan for and what they should pack. And I let them know that I canceled their tickets, so they didn't need to worry about it after all. They were angry and had some choice words. I honestly feel like it's the best decision we could have made, but am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. You're not telling us the whole story. Why has every one of the kids gone low contact with their dad? We've both bent over backwards for all of these kids. My husband got both of his sons jobs with his employer at different times, and they came to stay with us. We provided everything that they needed, food, housing, etc. Neither lasted much more than a month. They missed their friends and the fun they were having, so they left. No notices. We told them that they'd have to figure their lives out as they're adults, and we told them that we wouldn't be sending money as often anymore. Recently, the older daughter asked us to buy her a new car because she treated the first car we bought her terribly and is no longer in great running condition. That should make the car payments. But she doesn't work and doesn't plan on it. We told her absolutely not. She stopped talking to either of us then. The expectations are huge. And no, I haven't told y'all the whole story because it would take a long time. Y'all would be shocked at some of the stuff we've been asked for. And not just by the kids, the mother too. Not the a-hole. My heart breaks for you both. As an adopted child, I would never do this to my parents. My situation is actually opposite. My family does not drive to see me. I drive to them. And I understand because they're older and honestly don't feel comfortable making long trips. But I expect when I do make a trip to spend time with them because I only get so much time off. I had a daughter over a year ago. My whole entire family has treated her as their own even though I'm adopted. I actually messaged my mom that I can't express how happy I am that we are loved so much. The kids are missing out, but I don't know the whole situation. Was the divorce acrimonious? Did Randall cheat? Those things do matter to older children. But the mature adult thing to do would be to talk about it with her dad. It almost sounds like the mom has poisoned them against their father and you. You both shouldn't send any more money to any of them. You should enjoy your lives, and you both deserve apologies. The divorce was indeed acrimonious. His ex had an affair with her manager at work, which resulted in the youngest daughter. She let him believe that the baby was his, and he found out when she was a year old that he was not her bio father. A DNA test was taken. They divorced about a year later, and I met him 5 years after their divorce. It wasn't really sudden that they started acting this way, it was just that it became constant. Mother is extremely involved, and they absolutely learned this from her. She coached them a large part of the time. Money has always been her driving force as well. Not the a-hole. Enjoy your trip, and maybe start looking into wills and inheritance issues. Agreed. What horrible children. Just there for money. It's so sad for Opie and her husband who have tried to have a relationship with them. Opie not the a-hole, but expect demands for money to continue. Sounds kinda like mom's been poisoning their thoughts since the divorce. My thoughts exactly. Betcha she's embedded the money grubbing from her ex to her children. Like what the heck? They funded vacations for them and their mom. I would have bailed before that. Next story. Am I the a-hole for canceling my birthday trip after my sister invited the kids? I, 27 female, plan a vacation to San Diego for myself and my boyfriend, 31 male, for the end of June, which happens to fall around my birthday, between the two of us. We have 4 kids that we had already arranged childcare for, being that we are both single parents. We made sure we had at least 2 backup plans as well, just in case something went wrong with the initial sitters. A few days ago, my older sister, 33 female, asked if herself and her husband, 32 male, would be able to join us. I agreed, not thinking anything of it. Then later that day, I checked my phone and saw in the family group chat she had also invited my little brother, his wife, and their 2 kids along. So out of curiosity, I asked her was she also bringing her baby. She said yes, and she also booked a hotel near Disney for us all to stay in. I politely asked who was us all, and she responded my boyfriend, myself, our 4 kids, herself, her husband, their baby, our little brother, his wife, and their 2 kids. Normally I would have been upset, but I really should have expected nothing less, because she has a pattern of hijacking trips. So I just let her know we were no longer be going, because the entire purpose of the trip was to get away from the kids and reset for a couple of days. After all, it was still my birthday weekend, and I know full well I wanted to be drunk 90% of the trip. I did not want to be bothered for snacks and potty breaks anyways. After I let her know my boyfriend and I wouldn't be going on a trip anymore, she began texting the group chat nonstop, saying how I was being selfish and I shouldn't have kids if I didn't want to take them on every trip with me. I'm not sure if I'm actually an a-hole for not wanting to be around kids for a couple of days, or if it's just the normal guilt parents have when they finally try to do something nice for themselves. Not a-hole. Book something somewhere else and enjoy yourself. You and your boyfriend should go ahead to San Diego. They can go to Anaheim where Disneyland is. Tell them they can watch your 4 kids along with everyone else's. Just kidding, because you already have plans with sitters. Enjoy your birthday with your boyfriend. Yeah, seriously curious how booking hotel hours away from the original destination wasn't going to be missed. Even if they are driving, was the sister just going to head to Anaheim while OP drove to San Diego? Not a-hole. People who hijack or crash other people's vacations are a-holes. And parents who want an adult's vacation without kids are not a-holes and need not feel one dot of guilt. With 4 kids, you deserve a break if you feel you need one. You're not being selfish. Some parents don't mind having kids on all their vacations. Good for them, but they don't get to impose that on people who feel differently. This was your vacation, and your sister decided to be Miss Control Freak and decide on a totally different experience for everyone. You say she has a pattern of hijacking trips, so you have to ask yourself, why did I tell her? Plan your vacations without telling her or anyone else who would tell her. Good communication is a great thing, but that doesn't mean you have to be an open book, especially to boundary stompers. You can keep life plans to yourself. My parents took a vacation every year without us. I never even questioned that they should be able to do this. I understood why at a very early age. To be honest, we kind of liked the vacation from them too. My parents did the same. Long weekend away with a big group of friends every year. Nana would come hang out with us for the weekend, and we had a blast. I mean, she taught us to play poker and make ravioli and bolognese. We had more fun than the adults who were on vacation. You're absolutely not a-hole, OP. Not a-hole. Call it out in a group chat. Not only did you invite yourself to my birthday trip, you invited others and changed it completely. That's not the trip I planned. It is not the trip I want, so it won't be the trip I go on. We've all sat there while you hijacked vacations and have said nothing, but it's not happening this time. Also, next time you have a problem with me, approach me like an adult, instead of calling it out in a group chat. You are acting like a spoiled child and it's pathetic. I support this plan of action. Except I would go with, it's my birthday, and for my birthday trip that you invited yourself and the entire family on was to be a romantic vacation with my partner, which is healthy in any relationship. I'm sorry if that is not your relationship, but it is mine. This doesn't mean I don't love my children fiercely, and it's sad that you view it as such. You should plan your own vacation. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not punishing my dog and kicking out family? My 23 female dog Baha just got surgery. I hosted a family dinner with aunts, uncles, grandparents, cousins, nieces, and nephews. As everyone walked in, I asked that Baha be left alone on the couch on her spot. Welp, one of my cousins, Jane's daughter Amy, decided to go near Baha and bother her while I was in the kitchen. I figured since I asked the adults, to make sure their kids left her alone. Amy had bothered Baha, and Baha let out a warning growl. I quickly came to the living room and told Amy to leave Baha alone as she wants to rest. Amy was crying because Baha's growl scared her. Jane then gets mad at me saying, "Is that all you're going to do?" She snapped at my daughter and scared her. She's traumatized and probably won't ever go near a dog again. I then snapped back, "I'm not going to punish my dog for giving your child a warning. I asked you guys to leave her alone as you walked through the door. You should have watched your child." Other family members chimed in and said I shouldn't let Baha act like that towards kids, and she does deserve a punishment, while others sided with me. I then yelled at everyone, "This is Baha's house." She let out a warning. She didn't snap her teeth at Amy. She didn't bite her. She let out a warning because she wasn't comfortable. She didn't feel safe, and she has every right to feel safe in her home. So if you guys have a problem with me not punishing my dog because she let out a warning, and I will say this again, because she didn't feel safe in her home, then you may leave her home. I will not treat my dog like she's any less than because Jane couldn't watch Amy, and is being a brat for Baha not wanting to be touched. I was told from Jane and her family that I was an a-hole. So am I? Edit. For those saying I shouldn't have had a gathering, it was planned months ago. Her surgery was not. My house was the best place to have it since my kitchen is bigger than others. I would have hosted it in the backyard, but unfortunately it rained. If I had canceled the dinner, I would have wasted a bunch of money that wasn't mine as family was traveling for this reunion. I couldn't carry her upstairs, or else I would have hurt her in the process. She could barely walk up the small ramp to the couch. She's doing great now. Amy is 11 years old. Amy was mistreating Baha and was told to stop and leave her alone. She didn't listen. 11-year-olds know right from wrong. Her 3 to 7-year-old cousins listened better than her. They were told once to leave Baha be. Even when they were near her, they were just petting her and she didn't mind. But their parents wanted to let Baha rest, and they listened. Not the a-hole. You backed your dog who did exactly what a person would hope for. The dog didn't bite. It was a warning growl. Probably not the first warning either, just the first vocal one. I'm pretty confident anyone blaming the dog owner has terrible kids. So much this. The dog showed restraint by not biting and communicated in the only way dogs can. And what the heck do the family mean punish the dog? Like, how do they want her to punish Baha? And it's even more outrageous that they want her to punish an animal who just had surgery and basically said, "Leave me alone, I don't feel well." The family members who are not on OP's side are wild. Also, definitely not the a-hole. If you disrespect my dogs in their own home, their own safe space where they can relax, you can GTFO immediately. I actually stopped seeing a woman once because she didn't really like dogs, and she told off my lurcher for coming for a hello sniff. And poor Mabel went to the other sofa and had her ears back with her sad face because she didn't understand what she had done wrong. Broke my heart, and that was an immediate end to that relationship. I don't understand adults that do this. We have a bunch of nieces and nephews and some younger siblings that spend time at my house, and all of them know that this is the dog and cat's house. And if you can't be nice, you can't spend time here. All the kids get it. Why can't adults? Not a-hole. Never ever punish a dog for a warning growl, because the next time they will skip the growl and go straight to bite. Growl is the last step on the ladder before bite. There are many steps before that, but most kids, unless taught, won't understand them. Like lip licking, ears back, tail tucked, whale eyes, etc. This is what I came here to comment on. If you punish a dog for warning growls, you are potentially training them to skip growling and bite. It may have been better to put the dog in another room where you knew she wouldn't be bothered, but I can also understand why you'd want to be able to keep an eye on her, post-surgery and all. But still not the a-hole.